What's going on, everyone? I guess I can cut my car off. What's going on, everyone? Love Dimension Chronicles part 5, 4.7. I don't know. Really quickly. So, a lot of things have been going on right now. Right? Let me try to focus this. A lot of things have been going on right now. The coronavirus is out and about. And, I've been getting all these health alerts on my phone from my bank sent out one. That was wild. Well, I guess people are going in and out of the bank, so that makes sense. But, there's that. So because of the coronavirus, I had to cancel my show. And that really made me upset. I was really angry about that. I didn't want to cancel my show. I don't know what part of the camera to look in. You think I would know this by now, but I don't. So I had to cancel my show, and I didn't want to do that, but people's health was more important than me having a show. Definitely, always. So there's that. So I sent out an email to everyone who purchased a ticket about either getting a refund or me honoring that ticket for the rescheduled show at no cost or anything like that. So I had to do that. And one thing that's really been overwhelming is what I have been realizing is that you can't expect other people to take your passion as serious as you take your passion. So I'm an independent artist and I look at myself as a professional, right? So there's certain things as a professional that you should try to do, in my opinion, be on time, right? You should try to have an open line of communication with people, especially if you're using their resources or they're using your resources. And you would think that people would know this and understand this, but sometimes people don't take me seriously. So there's that. Or let me not say me. Sometimes people don't take independent artists, whether they're painters, singers, actresses, business owners, whatever. Sometimes they don't take them seriously. So there's that. And then it's just the biggest thing that I have learned as far as being an indie artist is that you really have to do everything by yourself. And I know that I said that in previous videos, but I think that I'm really starting to get a keen sense of what that means. Like, if the show is canceled, guess whose job it is to make sure everyone who bought a ticket or everyone who was about to purchase a ticket, guess whose responsibility it is to make sure that all of those people know? It's mine, right? Because people are looking at me. So I have to sit down on my computer and send out all of these emails and post on social media and, send text messages and send DMs. And I have to do all of that. All of that is on me, right? I have a newsletter. And here again, you can't do everything by yourself. So I have someone who, I created the account for my newsletter, but there's somebody who who puts the pictures and the words and stuff in place. But me and that person have to sit down and talk about what goes into the newsletter. And if I don't give this person enough content for the newsletter, or I don't schedule to sit down with this person, that's on me. People are going to hit me up and say, hey, why doesn't your newsletter go out, right? But also, at the same time, if I send out a newsletter or if I post on social media and I send emails and I send text messages because I'm an independent artist and because I'm not plastered on magazine. I'm so country and frustrated because I'm not plastered on magazines and on MTV and signed to this huge record label. People ask me questions when all they have to do is read. And I'm not trying to complain, but these are the things that as an independent artist that will make you frustrated. And I've talked to other independent artists who have been extremely successful in touring, and they really make a living off of this, and they have been doing this for 5 years plus, and they say that people still send them DMs on Twitter and they're like, hey, what time is your show? And they already have sent them a poster and they've posted it everywhere and the time is on the poster. And maybe it's just me, but I don't know if maybe you have to work to a certain point to show everyone how consistent and how serious and how focused and how determined you are. Maybe that's what you have to do because, no one is asking, I don't want to say Beyonce because that's like a otherworldly example because it's Beyonce. That's a whole nother entity. Who's someone that I can use? No one is asking someone who is signed to a record label, oh, I'm sorry, what time is your show? No, go check the link. It's on the poster. I'm okay. But that's just one thing. But, when people ask me these questions, do I get frustrated? On the video, yes, because it's just me and y'all, right? But when I get text messages like that, or people come up to me in person and ask me, and I'm just okay, yeah, no problem, you remember whatever. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's on the poster, it's 7 p.m. Where I'll be like, yeah, it's 7 p.m. Did you get the link? I can resend it to you, or did you get the link? I can send it to you, because customer service is extremely important to me. I try to just let it go over my head, but it can get frustrating. Like, it really can get frustrating. It really can. Also, when I'm trying to do an event, and I have to email the event owner or the owner of that space, I have to email them. I have to go out to meet them, and I have to get their phone number and text them and call them and leave them messages through every type of form of communication, and they still don't respond. That can be frustrating as well. But again, when you're an independent artist, these are things that you go through. Or when you're an entrepreneur, when you're doing things independently, these are things that you go through. Because if I was giving you, a $10,000 check, oh, all my emails will be answered, right? All my phone calls will be answered, right? But unfortunately, that's not realistic, right? So it's also not realistic for me to expect people to take me as seriously as I take myself, and to take my music career as seriously as I take myself. And that's something that I'm learning. So shout out to all the independent artists, the painters, actresses, singers, rappers, entrepreneurs. If you're starting your own business, I don't care what you're doing. Shout out to you, because getting this thing out of the mud is something so serious. Like, it is so serious. It is freaking ridiculous. Like, and there's been times where people didn't even want to show me common courtesy, because there wasn't a check involved. But I don't think that's how you form great relationships. But, who am I? Sometimes I have to sit back and be like, you know what? Who am I? Like, whatever. Let me just stay focused on my mission and my goals and get what I need to get completed. Yeah. And I really it's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on. And I'm just letting y'all know my frustrations. I got a friend who is a painter, and I believe in paying people for their craft, right? But or their service. I also believe in being financially honest about your situation. So if I wanted to make a music video, and the person I was talking to was like, yeah, the music video is going to be $800, I can't do that. And I would just tell them that up front, like, I can't give you $800. I can't do that. That's just me being real. But there are some people who will have you shoot the whole video, think everything is great. Then when it's time to hand up the money, they're like, oh, yeah, I don't have it. Or they just don't respond to you. I've seen people, I know some friends who they're into like photography and videography, and they've done things to people, and the people, when it was time to pay them, they just stopped responding. And it's a dog eat dog world out here. I don't know why people think they can just get away with treating people bad. But it happens. It happens. And it's unfortunate. I look stressed. I look stressed on this camera. And it's hot in here, so my face is getting pudgy. But that's all I had to say to y'all. Shout out to the dreamers, man. Shout out to the go-getters. Shout out to the gold diggers. Shout out to J Bow, the poet, real quick. Go check her out. Yeah, man, if you out here trying to change the world and you trying to do something, keep grinding. And I just respect you as much as possible if you're trying to get it on your own, or get it on your own, as in establishing a team, and you do anything independently, and having a small amount of people help you in any way that they can, and you scratching and clawing and trying to be as successful as possible. Like, shout out to everyone trying to get it out the mud, get it out the gutter, because it's hard, but we gonna be all right. Anyway, that's my video. Remember, love first. I'm stressed out, and I will talk to y'all later.